Before C-sections,
beep, beep.
Let's talk about what we can do as the kiddo's coming down and decides to not behave.
Right. So, what we mean by not behave, there's either
Francine, thank you.
either the heartbeat of your baby is not cooperating any longer because they're stressed. You're stressed. And we're a little bit stressed, to be honest, but not too much. So we're going to
No, we're stressed.
We're stressed.
We feel it.
Yeah, we feel it.
We care. Yeah, go ahead.
But we know we have the skills to help.
Absolutely.
So your stress level's high because you're out of control, right? The baby's stress level's high because it didn't want to be pushed through a birth canal.
And the husband wants to kill everybody.
And the
because
partner
he has no
is just
clue what's going on.
correct. And that poor partner, whether it's a husband, a wife, or whomever, is like, I'd rather be anywhere but here. And they usually need some apple juice because they're about to hit the ground.
So like when my wife was in labor with the first one,
No, you didn't pass out, did you?
No, I didn't pass out.
Oh, God.
But he was doing stupid stuff.
Who was he? Oh, the baby.
The baby.
Oh, the baby.
All this stuff. So I said, I told the doctor, I'm like, listen, I'm not a doctor here. I'm a little person. I need to turn off the screen. I need to be a dad. Like, you need to do what you need to do. I trust you. I literally just shut it off. And I couldn't because I think mentally it would have been too unwell.
Oh, yeah, I silenced my mom and others because I couldn't listen to it.
Just couldn't listen to it. And thank God, the kiddo's great. He's awesome. He has an allergy. Whatever. He'll make it.
That's got nothing to do with that.
If that's the worst of my problems, that's fine. But I couldn't. I think that's, you have, it's hard to release some of that control. It is. And
especially for us.
Yeah.
Because we're used, this is like, if you
just bond with your providers. Just like really find common ground because it's such a big part and you want to have some sense of trust.
So let's talk about.
Oh, wait.
We're segueing now.
Everyone wait. Ready?
So, you're fully dilated. You've been pushing for all those hours. Baby is very low, but you're just exhausted and something is just not aligned. And we have our tools from the toolkit.
Give me my tool.
You got your tool. So Dr. Kaitov over here is way more comfortable with his tool. I don't fuck with his tool because his tool makes me nervous because I just am not familiar with it. I've never been educated on it. However, he has learned from one of the masters. So
the masters.
He is very comfortable using these tools. Now, this guy is a vacuum. And what's cool about this is you can apply it to the baby. You suction it up into the right pressure. He's got hair, so
hair. Sorry.
And if your kid has a ton of hair, it actually won't work either.
Suction.
Just fun fact. So I suction up on this kid. It's there. Now it's not hurting him. And you can see there's a good circle there where there's suction. But what this does is kind of just gives us some extra pull, right? Now, you still have to push.
Do I do this for fun?
No.
Right. Why would I put it on a vacuum? Like,
we put on a vacuum for a couple different reasons, right? So the first one is you're really, really close to the end, but the heartbeat is not hanging in with us. And we are now on a time crunch.
So, and we're concerned about your baby's well-being.
Correct.
So the decision is like, hey, we need to speed this up, not because I have a dinner date or not because my son's turning 3 today. It's because I'm concerned that if we wait longer,
your baby might be harmed.
Correct. So now I have to make a decision, and I walk in, and not walk in. I'm already probably there, to be honest. I'm definitely there.
You probably got 9 people in your room, by the way. Anytime your baby misbehaves, you're going to see 9 people in your room.
And because we care, not because we're like it's a show. It's because we care.
Everyone has their jobs to do.
And we're thinking like, okay, now what's the next step? And I have a safety officer, another fully accredited OB-GYN that's like, hey, Dr. Kaitov, what are you doing next? And they're
checking on him.
And they're to support because they're also looking at everyone on the labor floor saying, hey, is everything good here, there, and everywhere? So then I'm like, okay, listen, the kiddo's supposed to be in some stress. The world's collapsing on them. That's fine. It happens. But now it's like stress. So then I'm like, okay, listen, I have to pull this kiddo out or we have to do an emergency C-section. And to say which one's better in each moment, it's impossible.
Correct.
Every situation is super different.
Correct.
There's no one answer, but there needs to be a discussion of like, hey, it's either this or this. And the consents about these things happen before this happens. But at that moment is a time where hopefully you have enough trust that when the physician says, hey, I need to do this or this, that you trust them to do so. And I hope the physicians that are making that decision are also doing it for the absolute appropriate reason. So now comes to our interventions. Vacuum delivery, forceps delivery, for simple reasons, or a cesarean delivery. Let's just say those are the 3 big interventions. So the most common thing used, especially in the Northeast, is the vacuum device. It goes onto the kiddo's head, and you have to feel where you're putting it. You don't want to put it into the hole of the baby's head. You want to put it away from that. And it also helps in the direction of the kiddo coming out. So when they say that they're going to use a vacuum, they're going to pull the kiddo out and get the kiddo out. Sometimes it's not successful. We have certain attempts. We sometimes try to pull the kiddo and see, is it budging? Is it moving? Is it getting past the point that it's not getting further into the canal? And if it's not, then the answer might still be a C-section at that point. Maybe it just does enough to get you just to that point that you can push the kiddo out yourself.
Right.
Those are nuances of whether or not a vacuum was used, but really a vacuum was used. And really, if we really need to use it, and because it's a true emergency, then this is just something you need to do for the well-being of your baby.
Yep.
The other thing that we use, right, that's the vacuum.
Yep.
Are these. And this is, in my opinion, a lost art, right?
It is absolutely a lost art.
They look crazy. And that's going to put that out there, right? And these are for breech deliveries. These are called Piper forceps. This is just what I have to share, but this is not, for regular deliveries, they look a little bit different, but they sound the same. But basically what they do is they go around the kiddo's head. The baby's head is right here, and we pull the kiddo out as well. This looks dramatic, but this, in my opinion, has such great potential for giving you the opportunity to having a vaginal delivery, as long as you understand the risks and talk to your physicians about that when that happens. But this can really get you to a point of getting this kiddo out and setting you up for vaginal deliveries in the future. Sometimes the tears that you might get are worse with the forceps, but that's also, we're taking into account, is it this or is it a C-section, right, which has a C-section with someone that's fully dilated and a baby being low.
Yeah.
It's a very difficult C-section. It's not just a simple bada bing and the baby's out. So there's a lot of nuances to it, but this has huge potential and support and help that in certain situations, I think these are better than the vacuums.
Yeah.
And in certain situations, you don't need these and you could use the vacuum. But when they invented these, it revolutionized obstetrics in a whole. Yeah.
I'll tell you though, it looks wild when you're watching. I've had the pleasure of watching Danny over here put these guys on a patient's baby and pull, and I was like, you got it. Yeah. You got it. And not that I didn't think he could do it. I knew he could do it. He would never try if he couldn't.
It's a lot.
But just watching these instruments go into this very delicate area is and as a woman who owns one, it's definitely one of those like moments. But you know what?
And also, like as a partner, if I saw my wife having that, which she didn't, but I can imagine like, yo, what the hell is going on?
Yeah, you're like, oh.
If I didn't know OB, I'd be like, what does he do? Or like, I'd be just shocked.
Yeah.
It's not a simple thing to look at, but it's also not a simple decision.
Right.
You know, maybe.
But if it was easy, everyone would do it, right?
Correct.
Like, if this whole job was easy, everyone would do it.
You know,
but that's why we do it, right? So you guys don't have to. No, just kidding.
I don't want you to do this.
No,
I don't want you to do these.
All right, so we've done our operative attempts, right? Hopefully you're able to push your baby out of your vagina, and we all love that, and hooray!
Celebrate,
cool.
flip the kiddo out.
Yay.
It's a boy, it's a girl.
And you can brag about that for the rest of your life. But then there are the other cases where we have an abdominal delivery, in which case you get to brag about that shit for the rest of your life because you went under the knife to have your baby.
The knife.
So let's really quickly kind of go through what that looks like for a typical C-section, right?
So let's say we're not doing an emergency, because I think in an emergency,
no, that's a different story.
You'll hear stories and
everything is just really, really fast.
Correct. Everything is the same mostly, but everything is really fast, right? But let's kind of like talk about it as if you come in for a scheduled C-section because it's your third C-section, right? You get seen, blah, 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 and then you get rolled into the OR. You're going on a bed, or you might be walking in and you walk into the bed of the OR. Then when you walk in there, you're like, oh.
Everything is cold.
Cold.
Everything's cold and white until you are laying down, in which case anesthesia has done their job, so you're nice and numb in your booty.
Or if you were in labor, you already have an epidural, so that's already kind of working.
Yeah.
And they give you extra medication in that same spot, so that way you're comfortable for the C-section.
So then you lay down this really narrow table that's not made for anyone over like 100 pounds.
7 pounds.
But that's okay. And you lay your arms out kind of
Makes
like...
no sense, does it?
It does not, but that's okay.
Yeah.
So you lay your arms out. We do not tie your arms down. We do not tie your belly down. We tie down your knees just for safety because you can't feel your legs.
We don't want you rolling off the bed.
We don't want you rolling off the bed.
Right.
We clean, depending on, I guess, the facility, but our facility that we are familiar with cleans your inside of your vagina with soap to prevent infections. Yeah. We clean your belly with soap. And then we test.
There's different types of soaps, but that doesn't matter.
Then we put this really cool blue drape up, and it's magical because when you put it up, you're pregnant. When you take it down, you're a mommy.
Oh, I never thought of it.
I say that all the time.
I
stole it from one of our older attendings, actually.
Okay.
So
cool, I like that.
So you lay down, this big blue drip goes up, you're hyperventilating because you're terrified.
Also because your heart rate's like increasing, your blood pressure is dropping, you can't breathe from the epidural.
But you can breathe.
But you can't breathe.
So a lot of these sensations are really jarring and they really make you stressed, but we're watching your vitals the whole time.
Yeah.
And it's very common to feel like you can't breathe or like you just can't catch your breath and all this shit. But like,
you're safe.
You're safe. You're safe. So this blue drape is up. In certain places, you can actually drop the blue component and have a clear component for when your baby is being born, which we love. We do a lot, as long as the patient's up to it and their partner's up to it, because we really don't want to take care of a dad or a partner.
If a partner passes out,
it's annoying as fuck.
They have, first of all, the world of the hospital runs into the OR.
Yeah.
But the thing that really matters the most to me as a dad, as a parent, they have to be in the emergency room for like hours for monitoring.
Oh my God.
And you do not get to spend time with your kiddo. So if you're one of those partners that's like, I cannot see blood, it's not worth it. Look at your kid after the kid's born.
Close your eyes.
And that's it.
Yeah.
It's just not worth it.
So we prep your belly. Your surgeon and your co-surgeon will go wash their hands all up.
Because we have to be clean.
We have to be sterile, beyond clean, sterile. So you go in and we test you multiple times with different instruments.
We literally stab you or pinch you.
I would say pinch.
Pinch.
We pinch with these really nasty clamps that if you felt shit, you would be like, holy God.
If you felt pain. If you felt pressure from them, that's okay. Because those are two different things. So if you felt pain, that's a problem. We're done. We don't do anything. We fix it first, your anesthesia. But if you feel pressure, like pushing, that's okay.
That's fine.
You're going to feel that.
Yeah. So then we start your C-section. We do what we're doing. You don't even really know we've started. And that's the beauty of it. Suddenly we're like, oh, do you have your cameras out? And you're like,
do you
what?
Do you think the OB-GYN is scrubbed for the C-section? Or is it just like the PA or the resident doing it?
Are you fucking crazy? Of course the OB-GYN is scrubbed.
So 50 years ago, 60, 70 years ago, per the cool older attendings, they would never scrub. And I think that's where a kind of scare of just like the resident and like the assistant, whoever was there would just do the C-sections.
No, that doesn't happen.
That does not happen.
Today, your doctor or a doctor, depending on who's assuming your care, is at that bedside, assuming your health.
Correct.
And their assistant is also there at bedside, assuming your health. And we both own you, meaning we own your care. We are accountable for your health and your baby's health, and we take that shit as an honor and a privilege and a serious thing.
And we know that at that moment, there's nothing you can do. And that's it's not our job. It's a blessing.
It's an honor.
It's really a blessing.
And if your person that's taking care of you you don't get the feeling that they are feeling that.
Maybe at that moment it's too late, right?
Yeah.
But like the next time around, you just want to feel that
connection.
Oh, that oomph. I don't know how to say it. It's just like that.
Yeah.
It really is important. Yeah.
But, Jesus, what were we saying?
Oh, baby coming out, right?
Oh, yeah. So.
The surgery.
The time that the baby's
and your partner can be in the room.
Oh, they should be in the room.
Yeah,
unless it's an emergency where
you go to sleep.
Yes.
So if you go to sleep, it's there's rules and it's
Yeah.
emergencies, and we just have to do what we need to do.
Yes.
Again, for the safety of you and your baby. But if you have an epidural and everything's going well, the partner is best that we don't start without them.
Correct. They're part of this. This is their fault too.
Yeah, correct.
So once the baby's about to be born, you're going to feel this really weird sensation. You can't push the baby out, but I can. So either myself, depending on just ability to get in and get like the right angle, one of us will put their hand inside, cradle the baby's head, and one of us will push the baby's butt from like outside your body, and we deliver that baby out. And suddenly you hear that beautiful noise, that crying. It may take a second. Sometimes babies just look at me like big eyes, and they don't cry, and I'm like, hello, asshole, like say something. And the baby's just like, I'm like, hello, they're waiting for you. And then suddenly they cry. And it's a beautiful thing.
It is a beautiful thing.
And then you're like, wow, population +1.
And then it's all that effort to get to that point.
Totally fucking worth it.
Makes sense. Correct.
Totally worth it.
Yeah.
So after that, the baby is brought to the warmer where they're cleaned up a little bit. And then depending on kind of whether your facility has the ability to do like your immediate skin to skin or all that other kind of stuff, they'll do that stuff. In terms of the C-section, which we're experts in, we deliver your placenta, we throw it in the trash if you don't want it, or if there's no reason to send it to get inspected for any reason. If there's something odd about your labor delivery, we might send it to get inspected.
By a pathologist.
By a pathologist.
Just for like assistance in your future pregnancies, if there's something to help benefit you.
Otherwise, then we start closing everything up and we make it look beautiful and we get out of Dodge. We get out of there.
Correct. We make it look pretty.
Yeah, we make it look pretty.
And you might think you need a plastic surgeon, but let me tell you, these residents close 5 to 6 C-sections a day. These PAs and NPs close 5 to 6 C-sections a day.
And we know that the only thing you can see is your skin. So we try our goddamn best to make sure that skin looks beautiful.
I say to make it look cute.
Make it look cute. Correct. But I will say, we do not take out your intestines.
Sometimes they come out on their own.
No.
Because you're coughing.
Clarify. They might like poke out of your belly if you're coughing.
Shove them back in.
But we just gently
get back.
Put them with I'm supposed to be the one that's wild out here. What are you doing right now?
I'm sorry.
We put like a little blanket on them and push them back inside.
Respectfully.
But we don't take them out. We don't,
We don't want to see them.
No, we don't give a shit about your intestines. I'm not a general surgeon. Put that shit
I don't want them. Your bladder's always in the way.
Yeah. The bladder, your bladder is super cute. She's just like this little white ball that hangs out in front of your uterus. We push her out of the way because we don't want
in the way.
We don't want her involved in this party.
If she's involved, it's a problem.
And then we get your baby out, and once we're done with that, we go home. Now, if you've had other C-sections in the past, it might take a little longer because we have to get to that same place.
Safely.
But you might have had surgery that caused scarring. So we need to really make sure that we can, what we call dissect, which is a fancy word of saying like clean up all the areas so that we can get there with like the safest course of action. Right. So that is a C-section in a nutshell. Yeah. Then we roll you on out and you go to recovery and you bond with your baby and your partner.
And then it's like survival.
Then the shit gets real.
Then it's really the hard part. And in my opinion, postpartum and adulthood, parenthood.
Well, I think this is a perfect segue. So why don't you close us out, Dan?
So I think that postpartum is going to be probably our next one.
I think that's a good plan.
And I think this is a good place to say, I hope you enjoyed not being shamed by the labor and delivery aspect of OB-GYN.
Yes. So real talk, no judgment, and
no shame.
No shame.
I'm Dan.
And I'm Fran.
Till next time.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.